I guess that's fair enough to say. Welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. I am Pastor Kevin, and of course, we have Nancy McCarville here with us on today. Nancy, how are you?
I am glad tomorrow's Friday, let me tell you.
Uh, busy day, I can imagine.
It is. It was a very busy day. So I'm glad to be home and talking to you.
Well, we are glad that you are home and talking to us, I tell you. Well, do me a favor, Nancy, if you don't mind. Take time out to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Nancy McCarville?
All right. I am I was born and raised in Iowa, and I've lived here most of my life. And I like in the book that I wrote, I talk about how I was raised in a Norman Rockwell atmosphere of our small town. And so then I got married and went to college, got married, had three kids. Um, we moved to Texas, we moved to Nebraska. I became an art teacher. And then after that, I became a special ed teacher. And I found out that I like working with students with behavior issues. So I became a dean of students slash assistant principal. Um, the bad kids, some people quote them as, but there is no such thing. You get the student who's struggling one on one. They're pretty good. They all want the same thing in my philosophy. They all want to be valued, validated, and listened to. So, and then my kids, my oldest son is a sergeant major at Fort Bragg. Um, he has two children and his wife. They've been married 15 years. And my daughter is a vocational rehabilitation counselor in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And she has a 5-year-old son and twins just a couple months ago. And my youngest son is in the Air Force and he works at NATO in Germany.
Mm.
And he's very good looking and single.
Well, you know what? You're gonna have to send me a picture of him so we can place it on the screen. I tell you.
I'll do that.
You know what? And
He'll kill me.
don't be surprised, boy, when he get those phone calls out of the blue. I tell you, you spoke about you are an author, and of course, we are grateful to have you here as one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network. We are also grateful for you for accepting the invitation to be here on today. And of course, we cannot go without saying we appreciate and I mean all the honor in the world for allowing us to become a part of your journey. Now, I'm placing the book cover on the split screen right now, and it's titled Lost Trail. Why don't you tell us about it if you don't mind?
Lost Trail is actually the name of a game that my classmates from high school we would play from sixth grade all the way through our senior year. And I didn't, my sister is 8 years older than I am. And she said that they played it too. And I did not know that until she saw my book. And I didn't really tell her what I was doing until it came out. And so I guess it was a tradition for several years and mostly girls in our town. Lost Trail is, our town was very small, extremely small. I had 33 in my class. So you could go anywhere, any time of the day and feel safe. But what we would do, there'd be 15 of us and we would divide up into two teams. And one team, my house was at the very far north end. And then my friend Connie, her house was way at the southeast end between cemeteries and all that. And so we would use those as boundaries. One team would wait in the house and the other team would have flashlights and chalk. And they would start walking all over town, leaving clues, arrows. And you had to, 30 minutes later, the other team would start to follow them. And my dog got loose. And then they would have to find them and then follow them all over town. And once they found the four corners, the north, south, east, west, rosebud is kind of what you call it sometimes, the rosary, then they know that they were hiding in that block somewhere. So then we'd have to start searching them. And of course, we'd always do it after dark. So one of my class reunions, one of the girls said, has anybody come across anyone that has played that in, wherever we've been around the world or where we've lived? And nobody else has come across anyone that has played that. And we said, we need to document that game. And then I thought, I've always loved scary movies and trying to be the brave one, all an act usually. And I thought, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to turn it into a fictional, entertaining spook story, so to speak, of that genre. And a lot of the stories in the book are influenced from the way I grew up, but then it spans 40 years later into solving a really bad curse that we didn't realize existed back in 1979.
Wow. I tell you, this sounds like it is going to be an outstanding read for all of our viewers, all of our listeners, even myself. And my wife is going to take it from me. I tell you, she's going to take it from me, and she's going to read it first. And she's my critic, so she's going to
Oh,
tell you that she loves or don't love the publication, but I have never got a don't love. I just want you to know, and I'm grateful for that. Now people are watching your every step. They're watching your every move, and they're taking the journey with them. We're role models, Nancy, to someone, whether we like it or not.
mhm.
And somebody is always watching. For someone who's watching you today and they're saying to themselves, I really wish that I can get on track and do the things that Nancy has done in my own way, follow my dreams and journey. What words of encouragement would you have to share with someone like that today?
I do that almost every day with teenagers. My biggest word of advice for anybody who's growing up or wants to try something new um, is failure teaches success. If you make a mistake, learn from it. That's the best piece of advice
Mm.
I have gotten. That's the piece of advice that I have given. Um, for example, I have a very good example of that. In 1998, I was getting a divorce from my first husband, and we were Catholic, and I am Catholic, and I stayed with him for years and years and years because God would not want me to get a divorce. And he was a very bad alcoholic, very bad. And I kept praying, give me a sign. Well, there were a lot of signs that I need to protect my kids and myself, but I would say, no, no, I made a vow. I'm not going to do it. And so one day, my son, who's an Army Ranger, big time, been deployed 9 times, my hero, he said, Mom, get us out of here. And so one morning, when he went to work, I had rented a rider van, and my 3 children and myself, we loaded furniture, everything. And I said, we got to be done by 3:30. We got to be done before he gets back, because we had just gotten out of the domestic abuse shelter. And they said, Mom, calm down. It's only 9:30. And we were almost done for the whole house. And my adrenaline was pumped so much that we carried the washer and dryer on my back
Mm.
because they were too little to
Wow.
carry it. And and of course, for the next several months, you go through um, a lot of depression, like you really screwed your life up.
Mhm.
But from that moment, I had the most support. My life just turned. I got my master's. I became an administrator. My kids were successful. They're very successful to this day. I I always say I got married again a few years later, and I always say his dad owned a car dealership, and I always say I traded up. um, but the best advice for anyone who wants to try something new, don't worry about failing. Don't worry about those no's. I'd hate to tell you how many no's I got trying to send this manuscript in. Um, but it just keep going. And I always say, if the window's closed, there's a crack in the wall or a door somewhere. Don't give up. I almost did give up, but I was working at a Catholic school at the time, and boy, it just everybody knew that you were struggling and they help. Everybody has someone to help.
Yeah.
When you're scared to ask for help, which I was for many years, then you don't get it. If you ask for it, you'll get it.
That's right.
It's it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's hard to learn, but it's pretty simple.
I agree. I agree 110% because I always use the analogy, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. If you don't ask, you won't get, and that's the way it is. I appreciate you sharing that. And of course, we have quite a few viewers and listeners on today who are making plans as we speak to show their love, care, concern, and support to you and purchasing the publication. What's the process for them to do so? How can this publication be a part of their bookshelf so they can reach out and share it with their family and friends? What's the process for them to do so?
Amazon, it's on sale at Amazon. barnesandnoble.com. It's not in the brick and mortar store yet, but it is on their website, or Dorrance Publishing. And they have a bookstore there, and you can just type in Lost Trail and it'll come right up. But Amazon's really the easiest. You can get a hard copy or a paperback, either one.
And of course, we don't want them to forget about little old GMAP Broadcast Network down here. And we're in the lower left hand corner in small print. You can always, well, small print most of the time is the most important print on the paper, so we don't mind that title. We want you to stop by. For those that don't know, now you know that Nancy is one of our featured authors here on the GMAP site as well. And we want you to stop by sometime and go and visit our featured authors area. You'll see a copy of the cover that I'm currently showing you on our split television screen, Lost Trail by Nancy McCarville. We want you to click on that cover. It will take you to the necessary location to get more intimate information and details about the author, about the publication, how you can order it, and so on. Now, I must say this. If you make the decision to purchase the publication through Amazon, we want you to be sure to leave a review. Leave a review. I say that over and over because it only takes a few moments for you to leave a review. Let the author know you appreciate what she's doing, you appreciate the publication, and keep going. Don't stop now. As a matter of fact, if one of those individuals, Nancy, were to walk up to you that admire and you're a role model to and say, Nancy, I appreciate where you've come from and I appreciate where you are, but what's next for Nancy McCarver? What would your response be to that?
My response is a sequel.
Hey.
I The people who have read it in this area have given me some good feedback, and I just have a lot of ideas. On the back of the book, one of the things that I write about myself is I enjoy ghost hunting with my friends, referring it to my girls' night out. My opinion, I'm skeptical, but I like to have fun, and we like to spend the night in these historical places, and it just makes a lot of. I like to entertain. I like to be. We've had enough bad stuff in our life that at my age, I just want to be entertained, and I want to entertain. I love telling stories, and so I have a sequel. I use the fact that I'm an administrator and I like ghost stories. And so the way the book ends leads the way to next part. So
A
I just,
sequel.
I want people to enjoy.
Amen.
I
And
want enjoy.
I I know for a fact that they are and will enjoy, and I'm going to encourage them once again to leave a review at the Amazon site. Once you get a copy, read it. Let the author know how you feel about it, and of course, people are going to want to also reach out and touch base with you, maybe on a more personal level, individually. What's the process if they wanted to reach out and connect with you, Nancy?
On Twitter, Nancy M underscore writes. And I have an Instagram, Nancy McCarville. And I also have a Facebook account, Nancy Reynolds McCarville or Nancy McCarville author.
And of course, if you
And
reach out to me here at GMAP, I'll be sure, guaranteed to connect the dots and make sure that the individual touch base and connect with you on whatever note that they want to reach out to you and maybe discuss something on a more individual or personal note. We want to make sure that we do that. Now, of course, we are grateful again for your presence on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Also, we want to thank you again for being here with all of us on today, just sharing a tidbit about what it is that Lost Trail is all about. And you, as a personal note, and you as an author, we thank you for that. And of course, thank you again for allowing us to be a part of your journey. It's so important that we put this information out there, give it to the eyes and the ears of the people so that they know what's going on. There's a lot of authors out there, and we want to make sure that those that give us the opportunity to present your authorship as well as your publication to people around the world, we want to make sure that we do any and everything we can. And speaking of that, we want you to know you have our number. You can text, chat, tweet, whatever you do. We want you to reach out to us and let us know how we can be of assistance to you. And the answer will always be yes, and you will never have to ask us twice. We guarantee it. And of course, don't forget to tune in on Wednesday nights. Nancy is also going to be featured on our weekly Comcast cable program and throughout Lake County. We are grateful that she's allowing us to assist her. And we want to send a shout out to all of our radio partners who are chimed in and accepting the invitation to air Nancy's conversation with us here on GMAP. We thank you as well. Nancy, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to move over. I'm going to let you speak directly from your heart and tell the people what he has placed in your spirit to share with them on today. And Nancy McCarville, I'm going to move over, and the floor is yours.
to share what's in my heart,
Yes.
um, I was thinking about that earlier this today. I was able to eat lunch, which is a rarity. And I was thinking about this interview, and I was thinking, I cannot believe how blessed and lucky I am. I have taken the initiative to step out of my comfort zone. Um, I have a job that makes me feel very blessed to help these students. The community that I work in has a very high poverty range, a lot of diversity. We have a lot of students on refugee status. I have enough connections with different agencies that we're able to assist the students and their families. And here I'm starting, as I'm getting ready to retire one career, I'm starting another career of something that I love, telling stories. I deal with a lot of sad family issues every day. And that's why my choice of genre and book is just for pure enjoyment. And I just cannot believe, I think I'm the luckiest person alive. I
Wow.
swear. I don't feel like I deserve some of the good turns that I've had, but I'm taking them. I'll
Amen.
take it and run.
Wow. Well,
It's 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 been great.
we know that you have a passion and a desire to disseminate this publication as well as things to come to the people around the world. And again, I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to be a part of it. We look forward to inviting you back as time continues to move forward. For those that caught the tail end of this conversation, we will be placing it on our YouTube channel as well as switching it over to our Facebook for you to watch it in its entirety. If you, in fact, need to reach out to us here, just let me know. You can contact us. We can be contacted. Trust me. Let me know what it is that we can do to just encourage you, just to assist you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, as we are doing constantly and continuously with Nancy. We thank you so much for being here. We look forward to hearing from you again. And of course, we want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing to people around the world, okay?
Thank you very much for giving me a platform to talk. Appreciate it.
Well, everybody, every author needs a platform to share their story, and we want to make sure that for those that want to be connected with us, we give them every opportunity to do so. So we appreciate you sharing those kind words, and we look forward to hearing from you again very soon and sharing what it is that you need to share to people around the world. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll reach out to you and tell you what's next. Until then, you be blessed, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a great rest of this year, and we'll talk to you soon.